Wowzers. I mean, it's hard to not be distracted by the Epstein shit because of the perceived significance. You know, because of the slight, because of what's been done in place of obvious justice, like nothing about the Epstein-Trump narrative makes sense in the reality we're supposed to live in, where the bad guys get in trouble and, you know, the good guys will prevail and all that. That it doesn't make sense. But in every other aspect, in all the shady aspects of things, it makes sense. And more than anything, I've said it for years now, literally years. You can find it in our song "Epstein Didn't Kill Himself," which was made shortly after he didn't kill himself. And the point of the song is that we wouldn't know anything about Epstein if they didn't want us to know everything about Epstein, or at least what we know. Let's see. What's the newest updates from the news? We'll sort by date. So we get the very newest thing from 7 minutes ago. Jay Clayton heads Epstein federal investigation amid political pressure. Jay Clayton. Well, it's not Jay Clayton-Steen, that's for sure. I have to admit, I have a little bit of a crush on Hayom Blakely. What is she, in her 20s? She seems like the exact type of disaster I would have been all about growing up. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Because I was wondering, like, what she would think on this. I'd like to know her perspective. She does a really good job in all of this. Trump trapped by emails. Well, I mean, the thing about this, I did watch a little piece of something, and they talk about how Trump is mentioned in the 13,000 emails that were leaked or something. Like, it's not nearly the whole 100,000 database, but like out of the 13,000 that were released, he's mentioned the most by far.
Who? Trump.
And then when interviewed, he's like, well, what you should be talking about is what he was doing with Bill Clinton, J.P. Morgan. Don't talk about me. It's just a hoax. I mean, it's really a strange thing. Like, it's really strange how it works out. You know, Trump just says dumb shit, and I'd say somehow it works, but I really don't. I don't know anybody that still supports him and what's going on.
I do. He was walking by yesterday, and
but you don't know him. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know the guy, but you know of a guy, so there you go.
I mean, but I asked him yesterday. I said, "How do you listen to what that man says and not think he sounds like a blithering fucking idiot?" He's like, "Well, it's the behind the scenes stuff that we don't see that he's doing that's good."
Like what?
I said, "Like what?" And he
didn't have anything.
He said
the racist stuff with the ice. Well, the ice,
Trump's
all the
one
ice.
that turned Epstein in. He's not on them lists. He's the one that turned him in.
So then why doesn't he use his presidential powers to just release everything?
Because the Democrats refuse to release it. So they're the ones attaching it to all the bills that the Republicans are turning down. What are you talking about?
Well, but he's the president of the United States. He could go executive order style and be like, I want this shit released. I want my name cleared.
was a very frustrating conversation, because people are dumb. That's what it boils down to. People are dumb.
So it was a black guy?
Oh.
I know. You won't say Joe's name?
Oh, well.
Of all the names you won't say Joe's name? Oh, it's Joe. They know who you're talking about, Joe.
Joe Mama.
Joe's an idiot. I mean, he's a fucking moron.
It's funny because there's some things he's very intelligent on, and then other things it's like, what? What? What do you?
It's Trump. I mean, it's like, who says all the same thing, all the right things when it comes to everyone else. Everyone else is bought and paid for. Politicians can't be trusted.
Too, but he's just,
politicians who
he's
can't be trusted.
The best of the crooks is how he was saying. He's still a crook, but he's the best of the crooks. Out of all of them up there.
Based on what?
That's what I don't know. That's what I was like, how? How do you listen to him talk?
More than anything, how do you overlook the fact that he's a fucking pedo? That he's a rapist?
I said, what about the 16-year-old girl that said her and that Trump and Epstein, tag teamed her and raped her?
14.
14.
Yeah, 14.
And he said,
or 13 actually.
There's no proof she was ever on the island. Her parents are making that shit up.
That's not an answer to that question. Do you think the only place where take place is on islands?
Well, he's saying that it's not true. That there's not even proof that she was ever even there. It's made up. Oh, it's
by the Democrats to get him. I mean that level of loyalty. Like, how do you even buy that level of loyalty?
Because he's doing good things.
Again, that's that loyalty coming through where I'm really, really interested. I want to know what good things he's doing. Please help me understand the good things that he's doing. And they just have nothing. And you just think like, don't you hear yourself? And Joe's one of those guys who, like, he seems like he's very anti-pedo.
Oh, he is. He is.
Yeah, but is he
kept calling them all pedophiles.
Is he
pedophile?
Is he anti-pedo boys? Does he overlook it when it's a 15-year-old girl?
No.
You don't know that. You know what he says to you.
The conversations that we've had, no.
Right, but pedos are very schooled in how to operate within societal bounds without not give themselves away.
That's not pedophile. He's not like that.
Yeah, well, I can't.
The lady
I'm sorry.
He had a crush on was in her 60s.
So what? I can't. I can't reconcile it. I can't put it together. 2 + 2 = 4. Trump's a pedo. You support a pedo. How do you support a pedo? How do you overlook somebody with those kind of skeletons in their closet, other than you have similar skeletons in your closet that you would?
They haven't been presented with proof that he's a pedo yet.
That you would want people to overlook your skeletons. That's what it looks like to me. You know? That's the only way I can do it. And the proof, I mean, no, there is. E. Jane Carroll is proof. Elizabeth Jean Carroll, is an American journalist, author, and advice columnist. Her Ask E. Jean column appeared in Elle magazine from 1993 to 2019, one of the longest running advice columns in American publishing. In her 2019 book, What Do We Need Men For? A Modest Proposal, Carroll accused Donald Trump of sexually assaulting her in the mid-90s. Her book, Not My Type, subtitled One Woman Against the President, Debuted at number 2 on the New York Times bestseller list on June 28th, 2025. What's up, Matt? How you doing, brother? Elizabeth Jean Carroll was born on December 12th, 1943 in Detroit, Michigan. I did not know that. In Detroit. In Detroit. Her father, Thomas F. Carroll, was a furniture store manager, and her mother, Betty Carroll McKinney, was a Republican politician in Allen County, Indiana. Oldest of 4 children, blah, blah, blah. Carroll sued Trump for defamation and battery in the United States District Court of the Southern District of New York, originally filed in New York Supreme Court. On May 9th, 2023, a jury found Trump liable for defamation and sexual abuse against Carroll and awarded her $5 million in damages. On July 19th, 2023, Judge Kaplan found that Trump did rape her, as the term is understood in common modern parlance, although not, quote, in the narrow technical meaning of a particular section of the New York penal law. On January 26, 2024, a jury found Trump liable for defamation against Carroll regarding his remarks after the first verdict and awarded an additional $83 million in damages. Holy shit. That's a lot of money. What's new in Hell Realm? Finally have a day off? Well, you're making good money, man. That's what matters. Trump appealed the verdict and posted a $91.6 million bond. In a per curiam ruling on September 8, 2025, an appeals court panel upheld the verdict and the award. In an interview that aired on June 30th, 2025, Carroll told Pamela Brown on CNN that she planned to give away the money. The last thing I care about is the money. The first thing I care about is people knowing the truth. I mean, she's probably well rich, not needing it. On September 8, 2025, the Second U.S. Court of Appeals upheld the $83 million defamation award against President Trump, saying his conduct was extraordinary and unprecedented. The appeal from President Trump's team had argued the punitive damages were too high, but the appellate court cited other cases, including $75 million awarded to 2 election workers who sued Rudy Giuliani for defamation in 2023, and the $320 million in punitive damages Alex Jones was ordered to pay for false claims about the Sandy Hook shooting. I mean, that's that. Oh, sexual assault allegation against Les Moonves. So is she okay? Oh, so Leslie Moonves was the president of CBS, I believe. Yeah, it must have been CBS because that's the one I was watching. He was the president of CBS. He was the highest ranking member at CBS. And there was that reporter, that halfy bitch that used to be there, Jerrica, whatever they used to call her, Jerrica. That, you know, white people can't say the black girl's name, right? But she broke the story about Moonves. And Moonves was given like an $80 million severance package and had to leave. He's also married to Julie Chen, I believe. The chick from Big Brother. Is that the chick that hosts Big Brother? He's married to her. And that whole thing was this huge story. Boom. And it just burnt out. It's like a flash. Because nobody wanted to talk about this powerful. We'll look up Les Moonves and see what it has to say. Moonves. What do you think Moonves is? Kind of sounds a little Latin, the Moonves. I am Moonves. Carroll was one of 13 women who, in 2019, accused CBS corporation chairman and CEO Les Moonves of sexual assault. She says the incident occurred in the late 90s in a hotel elevator. After interviewing Moonves for a story, he denied the allegation. Leslie Roy Leslie Roy Moonves. Moonves. My name is Leslie Roy Moonves. Is an American retired media executive who was the chairman and CEO of CBS Corporation from 2006 until his resignation in September 2018, following numerous allegations of sexual harassment, sexual assault, and abuse. He has been married to television personality Julie Chen since 2004. Man, I know some nonsense for no reason, don't I?
Oh, I have something funny for you.
Is that going to take a minute? Because this is going to take a minute. So if that's quick, then let's just do that real quick.
I mean, it's rather quick.
Like, is it me quick or is it?
Trump melts down on Air Force One when somebody asked about Epstein.
Right.
Yeah. A full-blown panic attack aboard Air Force One when a reporter dared to ask the one question he absolutely cannot stand. What did Epstein mean when he said you knew about the girls?
Right.
That's when Trump, the self-proclaimed stable genius, went into his now familiar spiral of deflection, denial, and...
Dude, you need to be talking about Bill Clinton.
Suddenly, the man who once bragged that Jeffrey Epstein was a terrific guy with a taste for younger women now insists he knows nothing about that. Nothing about that. Sure, she says, sure, Jan. And then came the meltdown. Instead of answering, Trump launched into a frantic rant about Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, and even J.P. Morgan Chase, basically grabbing names out of the nearest MAGA Mad Libs generator and hoped the press wouldn't notice he dodged a question.
But they did.
He even tried rewriting his own history with Epstein, claiming that they had a very bad relationship for many years.
Yeah, that's what it says. I saw that part.
This from the guy photographed partying at Mar-a-Lago with Epstein, complimenting him as a lot of fun and surrounded by women that Trump later admitted were on the younger side. I know nothing about that. It's really what did he mean when he spent all his time with Bill Clinton, Larry
What did
Summers?
he mean when he spent all his time with Bill Clinton? What does that even mean? What did he
Epstein and I
mean?
had a very bad relationship for many years, but he also saw strength because I was president, so he dictated memos to himself.
He wasn't president yet when all of this is going on.
Give me a break. You've got to find out what he knew with respect to Bill Clinton, all those people he knew, including J.P. Morgan Chase. But the real moment, the one that will live forever in the Hall of Fame of Trump tantrums, came when the reporter followed up with the obvious question. If there's nothing incriminating in the files, why not? Quiet! Quiet! Nothing screams innocence like shouting down a question mid-sentence on a presidential plane in front of the entire press corps.
But he gets away with it. Because every other reporter doesn't go, no, can you answer her question? No, I'm not. But what about you? Can you answer their question? Can you? Like, if that's what we need to see is unity among these sharks. You know, they're trying to get, they want to be the ones to get the story. They want to get the story. So wouldn't it be a greater story if they unified and for once didn't let one of these fuckers get away with their political bullshit? With their not answering of questions? Okay, so he held a series of, we're talking about Leslie Moonves. He held a series of executive positions at CBS from July 1995 to September 2018. He was also on the board of directors at ZeniMax Media from 1999 until 2021. So even after his allegations had all surfaced and he resigned as the chairman of CEO of CBS over sexual misconduct allegations, he was still on the board of directors at ZeniMax, which I would assume is Cinemax and something else, for another 3 years. Do you guys get that? Like,
oh, that's a really good deal.
That's insane. Later, he was co-president and co-chief operating officer, COO, of the original Viacom. Oh yeah, the original Viacom. You know, he might be worth a few dollars. The legal predecessor to CBS Corporation from 2004 until the company split in December of 2005. He became chairman of CBS in February of 2016. In September 2018, Moonves stepped down as chairman of CBS after multiple women brought forth sexual assault allegations against him. Moonves allegedly destroyed evidence of his sexual misconduct. According to various media reports, Moonves has amassed a net worth of over $800 million through compensation from CBS. I mean, wait, he already had a pretty significant worth. Moonves earned $68.4 million in 2017, combined with stock options of the media company, worth over $100 million. Early life. So, what do you guys think it's going to say first and foremost? What do you think it's going to say about Moonves, the Latin lover? What do you think, Chubby? What do you think it's going to say about Moonves, the Latin lover? First thing it's going to say, Moonves, the Latin lover. Name Moonves, Moonves. What do you think?
What's the first thing they're going to say about him?
In his early life. Let me break the tension for you. Leslie Roy Moonves was born in Brooklyn, New York City, to a Jewish family. Do you guys see it? Do you guys see it yet? What do you think the chances are that I would randomly be doing this? Oh shit, yeah, Leslie Moonves. I had completely forgotten about him. Yeah, he was this guy, blah, blah, blah. Let's look into him. I wonder what it's going to say. Do you understand how many different nationalities and backgrounds there are in this world? For him to be anything, he could have been Scandinavian, he could have been Czechoslovakian, he could have been, there are little countries I can't even think of. I don't even know the fucking name of them. Lots of them. He could have been anything. And yet, he's just another Jewish guy, Jewish family from Brooklyn, New York, who somehow, I'm sure we'll read about his modest parents. His father was a school teacher. His mother was a stay-at-home mother, blah, blah. We're going to read about all this, but then he also happened to go to this place and this, it'll be the same narrative. Let's just see if I'm wrong. The son of Josephine Scheffler and Herman Moonves. Would you, if I gave you the name Moonves, how many guesses would it take before you would assume Jewish?
I mean, several.
I mean, probably one of the last ones. You'd be like, Jewish? If somebody said no to you about the first 58, you'd finally be like, there's no way he's Jewish, right? Moonves? Moonves? That sounds like, like some science fiction, Captain Moonves from the Starfleet Patrol. Some Jetsons bullshit where they all had weird last names that fit the time they were in. The Jetsons. Spacely. And then there was Cogswell, but, Cogswell. You ever met a Cogswell? Is Cogswell a real name? Were people really named Cogswell? He grew up in Valley Stream, New York. His mother was a nurse. What was his father? His mother was a nurse. That's all we get? That's really weird. The son of Josephine and Herman, and grew up in Valley Stream. His mother was a nurse. That's it. He has one sister, Melissa Moonves Colon. C-O-L-O-N, and two brothers, including entertainment attorney Jonathan Moonves. including entertainment. I just didn't put the right emphasis on it. Sorry, I didn't read the sentence properly. I thought it was going to be a comma. Including entertainment attorney Jonathan Moonves. Isn't it interesting how yet again one of these extremely powerful friars who has the world at his fingertips, who could literally get any woman he wanted to, right? Like the 10 plus that dude has been with, the number of those 10s that he's been with in his life is beyond your comprehension, right? This guy has seen it all, done it all, can buy it all, can even buy, the illegal side of things, where if he has deviant tendencies, he can satisfy those because he has enough money to do so. And yet, it's another friar who thinks he's such a badass, he thinks he's so awesome, that when females do decline him, he's like, no, that's not how this works. And multiple women didn't, as far as, ugly friars go, he's not the ugliest of the friars, but he's an ugly little friar. And when you think about how many of these pieces of shit continuously get caught in that same position where they have it all. And you see that consistent thread of them all being friars, while you have the friar community who does not revolt against it, does not, they're not leading the charge against this element of their society that makes them awful. And a lot of it's because they're also accustomed to it. To them, rape is not something that is, it is foreign, is something that's out of their realm of experience. There's a good chance the majority of them have been assaulted one way or another, especially if they're from Israel. And you can get all shitty, all you want. You can be as mad as you want about it. The evidence is there. It's in the description of this video. I'm telling you, my wife is the least doting wife character you can imagine when it comes to this kind of shit. She has her own mind, and she doesn't like me.
I do.
But if I say something like this, I'm making a very bold, controversial statement. You can't say that about all of them. She's the good one. She's the one that's like, come on, you can't do that. I've met some very nice ones. They were very nice to my face. I met them. Broad has a mask on.
The neighbor?
Across the street, yeah.
Maybe somebody's sick.
So stupid. Like it's the thing about it too is if they haven't experienced it, they know what I'm talking about. When you get friars who play stupid regarding this, they're perpetuating it. When they act like I'm off base and I shouldn't be saying these things and everything other than this dude's right, we need to eliminate this disgusting part of our society. If you're saying anything but that, you're perpetuating it. And they're liars. They lie. That's what they do. They lie. Everything Netanyahu says is a fucking lie. Everything any of these pieces of shit say is a lie, and they have no problem lying to us. You know, when I tell you that you know, things like the Pittsburgh shooting and whatnot, that what they did was pull people off life support. And they went around to the friar community and said, hey, we have this thing we're going to do. We'd like to make your relative a martyr. Can we use them in our operation? And because it's lying to the Goyim, they're okay with it. Go right ahead. they're encouraged to lie to us by their rule books. They're supposed to lie to us. It says if the Goyim ever knew our true intentions, they'd rise up and kill every last one of us. That's what their own books say. Look, there's literally one here right now. Cody Allen Cohen. He's an admitted friar, an admitted genocide supporter, and an admitted pedophile as far as I'm concerned. He definitely never condemns it. He definitely never speaks out against the much larger ritualistic section of this. And like I say, just like with my wife, you can want me to be wrong all you want. You can tell me I shouldn't say these things all you want. The evidence is undeniable. Have you heard me read the Bottom of Darkness article? No, you haven't heard that either, have you? That shit is outrageous. And the most outrageous element of it, honestly, is the good guy perspective. Is how you have the supposed good guys in the articles, the doctors, the therapists, the head of this ward, this unit, blah, blah, blah. The reasoning and the excuses that they perpetuate. Where you have this article who's supposedly being the good guy repeatedly telling you, hey, this isn't just in Israel, you know, this is happening everywhere in the world. This kind of stuff happens all over the place. You know, at least 4 or 5 times in the article does it remind you that they're not the only ones raping children. I mean, we just saw that with what was it? Where they were like justifying something by saying, well, what about what they did? I mean, this is what they did. Yeah, shut up. Always deny them. You accuse me. I don't give a singular fuck about any other human. I have zero interaction with in my real life. Exactly. Do you understand? Like, he thought by saying that would make me look bad and him look good. Doesn't this make this guy sound like a real good guy? Always deny the pedophiles you accuse me of. The pedophiles, PDF files you accuse me of, but I don't give a singular fuck about any other human I have zero interaction with in my real life. Doesn't that sound like a good person? Apparently my wife, who can multitask, anytime I'm doing this, just cannot hear the words I'm saying. She's taking a picture and can't hear me.
I was thinking as I was taking the picture.
I was chewing gum and I was trying to walk. Does this sound like a good person? Always deny the PDF files you accuse me of, but I don't give a singular fuck about any other human I have zero interaction with in my real life. Doesn't that sound like if you open the books on Israel, you demonize Israel kind of thing?
Yeah.
Where you think you're saying something like that makes you look good, but it really makes you look even worse. It's you acknowledging what I'm saying. you know. Oh, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about all the Jewish children. I don't know them. I don't have any interactions with them. Ugh. What a fucking jackass. And then at the same time, this is the same jackass who defends Judaism and Israel and the genocide and all that. He cares about, because he doesn't benefit from the genocide. I mean, unless he does, unless there's more to it than I know. And there probably is. I mean, it was, you know, I was today years old minus like a month when I learned about the Secure Community Network. You know, that's another one of those things I came at my wife with, and she was like, come on. You can't say that. That's just your imagination. That's just one of your conspiracy theory kind of look many, many times. And again, it's because she's good. It's because she's inherently good. She doesn't want to believe that the group is the bad thing, that the cult is just that. And when I say to her, you know, they have their own ambulance service. They have their own police network. She's like, okay, like very hesitant. She's definitely not going to say, yeah, of course they do, like I would. And then when I go to read it to her, to show her, because I had read a portion of it, but I hadn't read it all. As I'm reading it, we're both going, holy shit. Like, it's so much worse than you realize. Can you, so the Secure Community Network is a network that connects 90% of American friars. 90%. Which I'm through their phones, I assume, through their emails, through their computers, whatever it may be. Maybe there's something else that we don't know that they're connected through. 90% of them. And the Secure Community Network just one of many 2-3 letter ABC organizations in the United States whose sole purpose is to benefit them, not the community as a whole, not all of us, not the people struggling, them. Like the International Fellowship for Christians and Jews,
Oh my gosh.
how it's never, they're never like, hey, let's give money to Christians.
Right. They're never helping Christians.
Never. It's always solely about the Jews, the elderly, forgotten Jews.
Holocaust survivors. What are they going to say in 10 years? None of those people will be alive.
They're running out. Well, I mean, you remember it.
Well,
So they
again,
were.
That's not true, because technically my dad was in the Holocaust.
No, they're running out.
And he,
They're definitely
he would
running
still
out.
be alive in 10 years.
Maybe. Maybe. I mean, he'd be pretty old. You're underestimating how old he was.
He would be 78 right now.
Right. 88 years old is a stretch. Most people aren't going to be 88 years old. You know, what the fuck were we talking about?
The Christian Fellowship for Jews, the Forgotten Jews.
Oh yeah. So if you remember, prior to the October 7th bullshit, they would be running the commercial and showing the images saying, you know, these are the forgotten Jews in Russia. Oh, so bad, so bad, so bad. They still ran the same commercial, but edited the words to make it sound like they were the what was it? Was it
Ukraine?
It must have been the Ukraine. It wasn't the Israel thing. But they edited it to make it sound like, oh, these forgotten Jews in Ukraine now. Mm-hmm. Suddenly they're out of Ukraine.
Yeah.
And if you look up pictures of what everyday life is like in Ukraine, you'll see who's in charge of Ukraine. Right. What an evil SOB. Exactly. I'm not. He says, I could care less about any other Jew, any Arab, any Christian, and Gaza. Sure you could. It's couldn't care less, you dumbass. If you could care less, then it's not that bad. Then there are other things that you could care less about, and this one is I could care less about that. You couldn't care less, meaning presented with anything else in the world, you'd care about the other thing more than that. That's what you're trying to say, you dumb inbred friar. And if you really couldn't care less about any other friar, then why are you here? There are plenty of comments with you crybabying about what I'm talking about. You're very upset about me exposing you friars and what pieces of shit disgusting motherfuckers you are. Strange, huh? For you to not care. I don't want to waste my time thinking of random strangers. Makes me a bad person. Yes. Not what you said. Now you're twisting things. You have a false view of reality. No point trying to prove your case. They're just dumb. I mean, it's not. It's a warped version of reality that's bred into them from birth. I don't need to waste a single second. This person who comes on my feed every day will sit here for hours on end crying about everything I'm saying, is worried about wasting his seconds caring about other people. Yeah, just me then, right? It's just me you care about so much, I guess, huh, Cody? What a doofus. You added in the word thinking. That's changing. Haha, Matt's catching on. Or Matt's caught on. It's important. I did that to Matt before. When he was arguing something and I said, see, you added in the word to make your point. If you don't add in that word, then your point isn't there. So good job, Matt. You're awesome. Keep listening to this dude who mocks his wife for enjoying her time too, instead of listening to him and calling her names. Yeah, you dumb bitch. Yep, I'm mocker. I'm always mocking you for not being a part of the feed. You know how it is. Are you okay?
I'm gonna cry.
Shut up. If you guys only knew. I'm married to a Greek woman. How well do you think that works out? How many arguments do you think I win? Do you know what me winning an argument is? Not me neither. But I can tell you how, most arguments end with her just looking at me and me being like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm done. Okay, whatever. I just walk away. Because she's Greek. She's not going to go, you are correct. I was wrong on this. That's just not how they operate. I don't think is there a Greek translation for I was wrong? I don't think it is. Okay, so if you were to substitute you are wrong with I, how would that, because I know it's not like a thing, but like, what's the you are wrong phrase in Greek? I'm sure it's like
Skasi.
Yeah. Okay, so you are wrong is skasi. So then what would be the I am? See, there is no I am wrong, is there?
Skasi.
See? Yep, you are wrong again. Everyone has free will, and you don't always have to agree with people's mannerisms. That alone doesn't make their intentions negative. Well, free will, when you say free will, you're pushing Christian bullshit. We don't have free will. That's an illusion. If I had free will, I'd be flying all around and shit.
Oh, actually, the formal is skasmos.
Okay.
Look it up.
I'm not going to. It's I love making this dude upset, says Cody. See, that's what I love when they do that. Basically, what he just said was this guy is making me upset, right? Because he has to create this illusion for himself. He wants to be making me feel like I make him feel. So because he's so upset, he wants me to be upset too. So he's lying to himself. I love making this dude upset. How are you making me upset by providing the exact thing that I'm talking about? Like if I was sitting here talking about how horrible you friars are, and there wasn't some dumbass inbred friar on here proving the point for me, like, you know, this would be a lot more difficult. You understand that? Like you definitely don't upset me. If you upset me, wouldn't I just block you? If it was truly, oh, this is upsetting me, I'm so upset by what he's saying, would I just block him? Me existing and speaking my mind, typing wrong gets him so heated. Yes. Yes. I mean, you've seen me heated before. Is this what I look like when I'm heated, sweetheart?
Yeah.
Like when I'm heated, I'm violent. I'm throwing punches and shit. You know? I'm kicking a dog. I'm
Blood flying.
beating the kids. I'm doing all of it. I'm so heated right now. Grr, look how mad I am. Exposing for 8 people. Yep. Because, you know, censorship would be if I had hundreds, if not thousands of people watching. Then I'd be like, look how censored I am. Right? It's funny how this is usually like, this is one of the 5 things that they know how to do. Suddenly it's my view count isn't high enough. Kind of like how that one dude was on here trying to say that Palestine isn't a genocide because the numbers aren't high enough. Because it's not enough people been killed. Like, what are you, stupid? Yeah, I remember, yeah. I'm willing to acknowledge my past mistakes, and I know that's what separates you. Yes, the cult speaks up and enjoys being praised by their leader. Free will is the ability to choose what you want to do. Free will doesn't mean that I have the ultimate power like an all-powerful God. It is not being used by... No, at this point, though, this is one of those things that we have to be deliberate in our intentions. And language is the most powerful weapon in the world. So when you can say something in a different way without using the religious, bullshit, you should. Because by saying free will, you're going to trigger Christian. People are going to think you're talking Christian and all that stuff. You might not mean to be, but that's how that works. So we have to be very intentional in what we say. We have to be deliberate and mean everything we say. Imagine if I was making up being friar the whole time. Now, see, this is another thing they do. Because they're not smart enough.
So weird.
They're not smart enough. They're not capable enough to actually engage and defend their bullshit. They always do this. They then pretend like, oh, well I'm making it up. I've been pretending this whole time. I've been pretending to be a disgusting pedophile. Like what, who, and then to think again, if you open up the books in Israel, you demonize Israel. This is how dumb they are. This guy actually thinks that this is going to be a reasonable thing. Oh man, yeah, he's probably been lying this whole time. Coming here day after day after day after day, pretending to be a friar. Yeah, that sounds like a real good person. If you're not censored, you're not doing it right. Huh? If you are truly religious, does not drop their religion to appease random strangers. Okay, so switch that out with cult members. Cult members who are truly in the cult do not drop their beliefs to appease random strangers. First of all, I'm not a random stranger because you literally live for me. You come to my feed every day. You're not invited. Nobody seeks you out. You set alarms so you can make sure you're here every day. No matter what time I go live, you're here, begging for my attention for hours at a time.
What the fuck does this mean? What does that mean?
Maybe I didn't have 42 million people for free.
What does that mean? Is that like, I don't get name. Is it
It's food stamps.
against
Because
food stamps?
yeah, because food is expensive because everybody has to pay for that $42 million somehow. So if those 42 million people, so if 42 million people were also paying their share, then food prices would be lower.
We throw away more food than we give to the people that can't afford it.
I do not. I live for my son and fiance, says the guy that's here every day for hours at a time begging for my attention. Man, it's disgusting to think he's raising the next generation of fucking disgusting pedophile weirdos. I'd hate to think what's been done to his son. You know? First, he got the Metitza pay. And then, you know, if they've been to Israel or they're, you know, really devout in any sort of way, then you know they're practicing their transcendence and you know, enlightenment and redemption arc. You know, the Bottom of Darkness article explains it. You ask yourself, how do you have somebody that will say, I don't care about anybody else, while at the same time demanding supremacy, demanding Semitism, demanding, you know, that his side of things gets way more advantage than anyone else? How can somebody be so cold? I don't give a shit about any children out there being raped. I don't give a shit about any children out there being starved to death and genocided.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Fuck, man.
Who can say shit like that? Who can be that way? How does anyone live their lives? You know, how do you a busload of you pull up to a neighborhood where you know the people have been taken out? The people were all rounded up who lived there, taken to the extermination camps. And now the bus pulls up, opens the door, and you go running out to claim your house. There's that famous video of the settler saying to the Palestinians who are pleading with him, and he's going, look, it's not my fault. If I don't take your house, somebody else will. That's the logic. How do you get to that point? How do you, what mechanism is working in your head that you think that's okay? That you don't condemn that to your core? Like, because most people hear that shit and go, oh, like it's a cringe. How could somebody say that to somebody else? If I don't steal your house, somebody else will? What kind of piece of shit person can do that? And you go, well, it's the type of person that has been invited to multiple parties where everyone stands around and watches child molestation and mutilation take place. You know, at their bris. They watch as a man is paid. Well, I mean, he's hired. I don't know who pays him. I don't know how that all works, but he's hired. The Moyle's hired. And he comes to perform the ritual. And he Metitza pays it. And everybody standing there watches that shit happen. You don't think that's desensitizing people to atrocity? This is supposed to be a good thing? You're watching this take place? That's the third one that guy's done today? Are you out of your fucking mind? You just not comprehending what they cut it, and then they suck on it.
Seriously.
That is insanity. That just, there is no rhyme or reason behind that. Nothing. Yeah. There's a comedian, I was watching this comedian, and he was like, I hate feet. I fucking hate feet. God, they're so gross. And I was out on this date with this girl, and we were walking through the woods, and the snake jumped out and bit her on the foot. And I had to suck the venom out of her foot.
Nope.
And so she's dead.
Yeah, she's dead.
And that was, like, it's just,
Nope.
it's insane.
No.
Look at this. Look at what this stuff said. Religion as a whole is a way for people to hope their mental problems away. I could give a fuck less. Does not affect my life. I cheer on ice too. Well, if you cheer on ice, I guess you could give a fuck, huh? Well, you could give a fuck less. So you were saying it, to begin with, you were saying it correctly. Because you couldn't give a fuck less. Again, I'm trying to educate your dumb, inbred, chosen ass, but you're just too stupid. Christians doing
weird.
Like, so you have to understand, this guy is literally commenting on what I'm saying, right? Instead of saying, yeah, that's atrocious, that's horrible, we need to do something about it, that needs to stop, anything like that, he's trying to pretend like he's, I could give a fuck less about that, I don't care about that, I cheer on ice, I don't care. This is what this guy is choosing to say. This is what I'm saying. What type of individual is presented with a situation like child rape or Matitza Bapé and says, oh, I don't care? Who doesn't fucking admonish that? Who doesn't fucking, what? What the fuck are you talking about? That needs to stop immediately. My wife had she reacted that sort of said countless times, and yet every time when you just think about it, it's disgusting. And yet the guy that's the admitted friar that has said time and time again, defended Israel, defended friar bullshit. Now apparently today he could care less. He could care less. Like, does this make any sense to you guys? Do you guys see what I'm saying? They're so stupid they don't realize that they walk themselves into their own traps. I choose to speak wrong. Oh yeah, I'm sure you do. Just for you, homie, with a Y, because you're stupid. Yep, you choose to speak wrong. You choose to make the same weird, goofy mistakes over and over again. I'm trying to present myself as stupid. Duh. I'm trying to make your point for you. Duh. Like, who's going to do that? Who's going to speak incorrectly on purpose just to prove how stupid they are? To prove how stupid you have to be to not only oppose me, but be a part of that fucking cult. I couldn't write it any better. I couldn't ask for it to be better. If I was to say what would be the ultimate situation, to have happen on the feed where somebody would come in and it would make me look the best, I wouldn't want somebody to just agree with everything I say. That would look weird. But when you have somebody that you know is in opposition and is trying to talk shit about everything I have to say, and that this is the best that they can come up with. 15th. Like it's shocking. It's like when talking to Chat GPT and it telling me that it can't provide me with any concrete examples of how Israel has helped or benefits the US. That's tremendous. I can articulate myself any way I choose. I just enjoy playing down to my audience's level. Yeah, that's what it is. Look at all these typical dumb friar excuses. Can't admit that they make mistakes sometimes. And again, I'm not even really sure what he's talking about because he's addressing something that I've said about, I guess, how stupid he is. But still, the whole pedophile calling out the cult itself and all that shit. Nope. He's not interested in debunking any of that. He just cares about, I don't know, the level at which he speaks, because he's choosing to dumb it down because he could sound much more intelligent if he wanted to. He just doesn't want to. Every day, hour after hour, month after month, every day begging for attention. In a situation where I keep saying, just pick a thing that I'm wrong about and focus in on it. Tell me what it is. He could intelligently defend it. He just chooses not to because he likes making me look good. Makes sense to me. Yeah, you got your Nazi. Most of you do. I mean, he should be revered by you guys. Right? There should be statues all over Israel of Hitler. Because without his contribution, without the actor's contribution, there wouldn't be an Israel. They wouldn't be able to leverage the imaginary in every fight they have, in every single, it's like, there's levels to it. First, that's anti-Semitism. And you're like, no, wait. And then they're like, well, you're a Holocaust denier. It's immediate. And because we're so programmed on how to respond, we don't respond properly, which is, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The narrative we're given is bullshit, just like everything else. Once you start responding like that, they just lose all footing. They'll start rambling. So people are lying. But there's just more than enough evidence to show. It's just a bullshit narrative. It's fucking fake. The Holocaust is fake. See again, having this nonsense conversation because he can't fucking. There's no way to defend friarism. There's no way to make any of it make sense. So what do? They try to change the subject. They try to, they're willing to act a fool to change the subject, to keep the conversation from going in the direction it's going. They're terrified. And it's as simple as shit like the Havara Agreement. As soon as you start talking about the Holocaust, you have to bring up that thing that was never brought up. My generation, my wife's generation, every year in school, we would get a month-long World War II, Holocaust lesson plan, and we'd have to recite it. We'd have to regurgitate the same bullshit every year, The 6 million, 6 million. They did that to us every single year. And in all of that shit, I never heard anybody talk about the Havara Agreement. And I'd ask my wife, but she didn't pay attention anyway. She didn't like history. She thought it was fake. But the Havara Agreement was signed in 1933 between the Zionist federations and the Nazi-Scrazzies. Nazi-Scrazzy. And it was an agreement to allow 60,000 German friars to immigrate to Palestine, to start colonizing Palestine, while also taking their wealth with them. 60,000 plus between 33 and 39. Isn't that strange? Did you ever hear anything about that? Look at this. See? Trying everything they can to avoid it because it's true. They know it's true. The Havara Agreement is narrative shattering. And again, I was, today years old minus a month or so when I first heard about the Havara Agreement. And I'm well versed in a lot of what has to do with that shit, with that Holocaust narrative. I believe my family to be Operation Paperclip. So before you, again, arrogantly act like you know more than I do because you barely remember what was taught to you in school. No.
Rude.
Yes, that's me. Ravishing Rick. That's what they call me.
No.
I wish I was built like that dude. That dude had the best body. He's supposed to be. He's Ravishing Rick. I said, what's up? Go fuck yourself. Oh, look, it's Bitchbeard. Back again. James Napier, the pedophile.
Aw, you've been missed.
Yeah, tremendously.
Is your beard all goofy colors?
So out of all the people in the world, right, I'm allowed to have 7 viewers, and one of them just happens to be James Napier, the pedophile? What do you think the chances of that happening are? He's just randomly going through YouTube, and my feed just happens to pop up. He's one of the 7 people that's allowed to see my feed. 8, now I have 8. 7, 8 viewers, 5 likes, 8 viewers, 7 viewers. Is that how this shit works?
Yeah.
Because that makes sense, right? It makes sense that this dude would obsess over me still after all this time.
Baby, you sexy motherfucker. I've
It's
been
true.
with you for over 20 years.
It's true. It's true. But these guys like me more than you do.
They don't.
These guys hang on every word I say.
Well, that's because they have no life.
Well, I mean, that's sort
I
of the
have
pot
kids
calling the
and,
kettle. Thankfully, they don't have fucking kids. Just think about how fucking insane that is. Think about what sort of... Like, to think that doesn't prove my point more than anything else. Like, and remember, this guy is the guy who suddenly appeared on my feed after I said I'm going to stop focusing on all the crazy shit and start focusing on Israel and killing pedophiles. That immediately brought this guy to my feed where he starts crying about, you know, I should pay attention to him. And when I didn't give him what he wanted, he starts in with the your crybaby bullshit, but he can't get his yours right. So when I point that out to him, he cries even more and then becomes obsessed with me. And he's going to sue me. And he's going to, all this dumbass crybaby shit over someone he could care less about. Looking insane. There you go. You're ignorant. Y-O-U-R ignorant. There you go. Look at that. I'm so ignorant. I've been nothing but right. To the point where such insane effort is put into me, and yet none of it can actually tell me what I'm getting wrong. Just think about how fucking insane this is. If I'm wrong, then what is it? What could it possibly be? It's fucking awesome and hilarious to get called pedophiles. Boy, that sounds like a good time. You know, I'm so entertaining, right? Of all the things you could be doing in this world, you come here to not only be called a pedophile, but then prove my points. Like you're an important piece of this. You make this work better than it would without you. Do you guys see it? What else could it be? What else could it be? Who other than pedophiles and Israelis is friars is going to obsess over me? For what? You know, I get that I'm fine and shit, but I would only assume that's to like you know, older people or people with daddy issues. But to come here so frequently and try everything you can to interfere, disrupt, you know, shoot the messenger, shit talk, blah, blah, blah. The guy that thinks we should kill pedos and break free of our friar control scheme, that just seems strange. Like, like, where's the motivation there? What would motivate people in that regard? I've said it time and time again. I support Alex Rosen. I can't stand that guy. He's the definition of a friar. You know, racist, just pompous, arrogant. You know, I really like as far as a person goes. I can't stand that guy. The fact is, he's not. He of all people, if of all friars out there, he should be the one leading the charge against Matitza Pape, against the bottom of darkness, against his cult that he proudly belongs to, being so associated with pedophilia. But as much as I can't stand the guy, he does great work. Yeah, he seemingly purposefully avoids catching friars because he would catch them all the time if he wanted to. And I've seen him catch one before and it brought up and like he doesn't want it talked about. Loves talking about people being Christian and if they were Muslim, boy, does he jump all over that. But I've said before, like if you're the pedophile hunter, the racist, homophobic pedophile hunter, and all you do is look for black guys who look for little boys, like all the power to you. Let me share your videos. You're doing good work. And anybody that is openly and aggressively and adamantly against pedophiles, they get a thumbs up from me. I appreciate the shit out of it. It's terrifying when you look at the brevity of it all. When you step back and you take into account just how many pedophile hunters there are out there, and not just how many, like, how many people are getting caught daily. Like, these pedophile hunters are catching multiple people daily. But the people that are showing up to be caught are such a small percentage of the ones that actually reach out and try to make contact with the child. And if people truly understood just how many Cody Allen Cohens there are out there, how many James Napiers there are out there, that, you know, maybe they haven't. Well, James Napier definitely has, and Cody probably more than likely has too. But even if they haven't actually touched a child yet, they deal in child exploitation materials. They send pictures and links and videos, and, you know, they have their Tumblr or Discord accounts, and, you know, I don't know the other one. Sorry, I can't. Telegram. They have the Telegram accounts and the Grinder accounts and all that shit. And if you saw just how many of these fucking weirdos there are out there trading in the materials, because, like I say, whether you've touched a kid or you just look at stuff that's online, you're equally bad. There's no distinction there for me. Just because you're not physically doing it, you're looking at the materials that show it, means you're doing it. If it weren't for you wanting to see it, then those videos wouldn't exist. Those videos exist for you pieces of shit. It always drives me crazy. I hate seeing it. I mean, it's cute, but not being able to go for bike rides with my kids has been a real one of those things that just really, like, something you don't think about it.
Pictured doing when they were little, us riding with them on bikes, and neither one of us can ride a bike now.
Oh, look, now the dumbass is deleting his comments. Doesn't want you to see what he thinks. But yeah, you know, when you understand that the amount of you know, each dummy profile is hit up hundreds of times, maybe more, depending on how long it's been around. And almost immediately, as soon as they throw the profile up, their inbox starts lighting up. Ding, ding, hey, what's going on? You know, Hanson and them, whenever he goes to a town, they catch like 10, 15 people a night. Sometimes they're catching so many that they're overlapping with each other. And to me, if you can fall for that shit, it's like your compulsion is overriding your common sense. Because every single time I see those chat logs or anything like that, it's like, how did you think that was a 15-year-old talking to you? Could you read most of it? Was it spelled wrong? Was there punctuation? If there's punctuation, it's not a 15-year-old. They sound even dumber in text, and that's surprising. But, like, these guys are so tunnel vision that they just override all the red flags and show up. And these are just the small percentage that are that fucking stupid. So many of those profiles are hit up for pictures. Hey, you got any pics? Hey, can you send some pics? It's if I don't know why they hide that. That's the thing that they should show people. Just how many fucking times each profile is hit up during their operation. Because that shows you that I mean, even if you look at your registry in your neighborhood, you're gonna be shocked. It's like when you say you're gonna be shocked, people think they can even, oh, okay, I'm gonna prepare for it. You're gonna see it and be shocked. You're not gonna you're gonna it's not gonna be like 10,000 on one street or anything. But you'd be shocked by how many people live in your neighborhood that are on the registry. And not one of them has come to your door to tell you that they live in the neighborhood. So all of these people that are hitting this up, these aren't like ogres. You know, these aren't like people in dungeons and shit. Just watch Hanson, man. Such a range of people. Doctors, engineers, high society people, janitors, you know. They really seem to like to show Mexicans who can't speak English, which end up being the worst episodes because I don't want to sit there and watch Chris struggle trying to talk to somebody, say basic shit. That part is really strange how they seem to focus on that. And so the secure community network really raises eyebrows in this regard. Because if you go and watch the early TCAP episodes, the amount of friars that get caught in those stings, it might be 50% of the people that are caught throughout the whole thing are friars. When you're talking about 2% of the United States population being caught 30, 40, 50% of the time, that disparity isn't, it's really telling. It shows you just how bad this problem is in their community. And you know, at first, before it became a big thing, they were consistently caught in all of those early TCAPs. To Catch a Predator. No, they caught the rabbi who like came at Chris like, you can't do this. You what are you doing? Like looking at him like, are you fucking, do you know who I am? The doctor who had his temper tantrum. The guy, the wrestling guy whose episode was cut off and who like attacks anybody that posts Feinstein. What's his name? Feinstein. Real big piece of shit that guy was. He ran and wasn't featured. But you can find his footage. You know, Jeff Sokol with his fucking marriage contract, his Talmudic marriage contract. Because he wanted to make it legal. So if by his perspective, if the mother signed the Talmudic marriage contract, the 13-year-old girl would now belong to him. And he would have some sort of legal standing in our fucking ridiculous society that seems to think their cult trumps law. So I wish they could have pushed that part farther to understand, you know, what was actually going on there. Yeah, I'm sure you're not. At this point, I'm sure you're not. Now you're just proving what cowards you people are. Now you're such a coward you won't even stick by your pedophile nasty shit because you know how bad it makes you look. The reality is all you should do is leave and never come back again. But you're obsessed with me, so you won't. And I'm pretty sure you've just got a job to do. Right? Oh yeah, let's see all the points this doofus made. All right, let's see. I bet 2 pesos that his wife checks in time to time. He goes between 7 to 10 every 15 to 20. Okay. I'm sick of you putting me in a group of pedophiles like proven people. You just choose because of a religion that people are horrible and pedophiles. I never have or will do any of that stuff. By this thinking, every black person is a felon? Question mark.
What? Wow.
No.
Wow.
Then realize that every person of groups isn't bad. Oh, here we go. Bitchbeard saying the only reason you haven't been caught is you're doing your own kids. Just admit it. Yep. Yep, that's what it is. Hey, guys.
Oh, no.
Guys. I abuse you, don't I? All the time, right? That's where the bruises come from. Yep. Tell them, guys, here's your chance to tell everybody how horrible your dad is. You see that? Oh my God. They get abused all day, every day.
Except for the several hours that you're live.
Yeah, except for when I'm live. Yeah, I'd take a break. Says Bitchbeard. Says James Napier, the pedophile. He is an actual pedophile. I think he's somebody that makes bodies disappear. He has a beef jerky business, beef jerky, and I think he's somebody that makes bodies disappear. I think he makes evidence disappear, and that's fucking disgusting. But
I tried doing that.
you can, it's right there. You gotta use it. Hold it.
Yeah.
Hold it. Give me it. Yeah. I'm not Jay. I came in one day and saw him saying anti-friar stuff. So I have my every 2-3 day fun in the morning being a friar. Yep, that's what it is. And he skipped the points I made before. Oh, there's more points before that. Let's see. Where are the points? I know there's the one thing you cowardly erased. Let's see. I'm packing a bowl in the next room to my drawer with armbands. More to the basement one day. There's literally no points being made. Totally forgot about that. Guy's gonna do some bullshit. Talking some probably pedo code bullshit. Who else but Quagmire? Oh yeah, look at all those points you made. Look at all the points this guy made. Man, I wonder why he gets ignored. All those points. All the points being made. This is your average friar, man. This is what inbreeding produces. It's just the narrative that keeps them protected. And because you assume that, they're all doctors and lawyers, they must be super smart. It's not. They've been cultivated to being those things from an early age. So they might be smart in this regard. But at the end of the day, you support Matitza Pape. That's it.
Well, see, the difference is, here's the big difference. The difference is, to be black does not mean to have certain beliefs. It means to be born of a certain ancestry.
Exactly.
To be J means to have certain beliefs.
A choice.
Doesn't matter what color your skin is or what country your ancestors fucked in.
Friars aren't a race.
So that it's a totally different.
Right. You can choose not to be a friar. You can't choose not to be black. You
Right.
you can convert to friarism. Black people can be friars. Not like equal footing friars or anything, but
Sammy Davis Jr.
Right, you get your Sammy, who is, the butt of the jokes.
Okay. I can't. The plastic. My thumb is gonna fall.
You better not have to hitchhike anytime soon.
I'm telling you.
Well, you better mind your P's and Q's. I hate to kick you out of the car and make you have to hitchhike home one day. I'll do it too, because I'm abusive like that. All I do is abuse you and make you boo hoo hoo hoo. All right. Look at this. 6 viewers, 6 likes, as always, because that's how live feeds work. It's not about the more likes you get, the more people YouTube funnels to your page. That has nothing to do with it. Just random people like James Napier, the pedophile, just happened upon my feed of all the 6 people. All 6 people, James Napier, the pedophile, just happened to be one of them. Gosh, that's weird. And of course, all these people have the opportunity to come in and say something, to dispel things and to make things right. And fuck these Israelis. Like, you would especially assume some dumbass that dyes his beard all rainbow colors so that little kids will come play with it. His red, white, and blue beard. You would think if anybody is going to be foolishly America first and by proxy fuck Israel, like, it would be that guy. Anybody that it's one of the most shocking things to see how all of the most staunchly America first people aren't sitting here going, why is our president destroying the First Amendment to protect a foreign country? Why did the president just approve $6 billion in emergency funding for Israel when a few days ago the government couldn't pay itself and SNAP benefits were cut off, and then they had the big party to celebrate SNAP benefits being cut off? But you're telling me that we couldn't pay the fucking the government, we had to all this distraction bullshit that had been going on. Anytime there's one of these shutdowns, I mean, it's always around this time of year. There'll probably be another one right around December so they can have a nice long Christmas break. But they every time this happens, if you just look around, if you look at what's going on in Israel, you'd be shocked. Because it's just bullshit. And then right after it's over, now somehow we have a surplus of $6 billion that we can just approve. The president is pushing it through. Executive order bullshit, kind of, bypassing Congress and all that. Like they would say no anyway. An emergency $6 billion approval. And what it is like, like 60 Apache helicopters and a whole bunch of equipment that's to be delivered over the next 2 to 3 years is the thing. But what was the emergency? Was Israel attacked? What? And it's not like it's an immediate dispersal. So Trump had to use like emergency protocols to push this through without any sort of scrutiny or anything like that. Just push it through.
All the different courts are ruling it, illegal. And trying to overturn it. That's why Michigan.
I don't think that's this. Not this. You're half paying attention. I'm talking about the $6 billion that Trump just approved to be given to Israel in emergency aid.
Given to. Oh.
Yeah. I see. Open-minded.
Well, so, but you're gonna let the people in your country starve
Oh yeah.
and not give them their SNAP,
I mean,
their EBT, you fucking piece of shit.
the amount of money that's been given to Israel in the last few years, considering they are not only a first world country, but they are the aggressor who takes next to no casualties. What the fuck is going on here? All of that money could have absolutely been used here. Our infrastructure is falling the fuck apart. There is some real turmoil on the horizon. It's really scary to see what's happening here. You know, this is you know, 1984 happened a long time ago. I mean, 1984 happened a long time ago. It's you're just not paying attention. It might not be all dystopian like the movie predicted because we would resist it. But it's the same shit. It's really scary what's going on right now. And the thing that's to me the scariest part is that you see the people are clearly opposed to what's going on everywhere. You don't see, you know, the only pro-Israel protesters you see are friars. Are disgusting friars who say horrible things every time. You never hear them saying anything that makes sense or is reasonable or anything like that. You know, their existence itself is an atrocity. Israel should not be there. When you know the history behind how it exists, you know, blaming the what supposedly happened in Germany, somehow the Palestinians have to pay that price? What are you fucking talking about? Where in the logic does that connection make sense? Like it's really insulting when you step back and you think about it. And you have all these people saying whatever bullshit they want to say, bringing up the Holo hoax and all that other shit. And you go, okay, so what part of it, Germany, Hitler, all that shit, how did that involve the Palestinians? What did they do to incur the wrath? And then, you know, of course, you have to look back. And so many people think it starts with the Balfour Declaration, which is, of course, the Rothschild Declaration. They just didn't want to put their name on it and make it as obvious. In 1916, but that's nothing. That's just a piece. Definitely not the beginning. You know, you have the Uganda Scheme proposal in the late 1890s. You have the World Zionist conferences and all that bullshit. You have the 1894 was the first World Zionist conference. And then they happened every year or every 2 years, whatever. You have the Auto Emancipation pamphlet, which was anonymously published in German by a Polish-Russian friar. Because that makes sense, right? And in it, immediately, like it's a pamphlet, so it's not a whole bunch of, you know, it's not a bunch of pages. But immediately it starts talking about they deserve their own shit, and anybody that doesn't agree with that has a mental disorder, an irrational phobia. A disease of the mind. Think about that shit, man. And when you look at my page and you look at many, many videos of my page, you see the same shit over and over again. It's literally the only argument that they can make anymore. Or really clearly ever have. If you don't support your own subjugation, if you don't support that they are supreme, they're better than everyone else and they above the law and special treatment and all that shit, there's something mentally wrong with you. You are mentally unstable. You have a mental disorder. Do you guys see how crazy that is? Imagine if anybody else, imagine if somebody says that about them, that if you believe what they believe, you have a mental disorder. Everybody would say, oh, you can't say that. That's not nice. And people don't understand that this is what's going on. When you say, oh, I have some, I know some, they're nice to my face. Every time I see them, they're super, super nice to me. You don't think it matters that this is the foundation of their beliefs? You don't think it's possible that they're just nice to your fucking face?
I think that it's possible that a lot of them don't know the foundations of their.
Well, I mean, not from what I can tell. From what I can tell, their history is very, very important to them. And especially since the majority of them go to Hebrew school in one way or another, they're learning it.
I mean, I don't know.
And to fall back on something, to have something be such a huge part of your identity that you bring it up in every conversation, that, you know, it dictates basically who you are, you better know what it says. You better know the history of it. You don't get to hide behind, oh, well, I just didn't know. I just didn't know.
I don't know. I don't think that everybody really still teaches those things. They use it to their advantage. Why wouldn't you? If you can.
Well, it's one thing to use it to your advantage. It's another thing to use it to the disadvantage of other people. And it's not like anybody can hide behind the we don't know what's going on fucking rock anymore. You know, for many, many years I was telling you about this, but it wasn't being talked about on the news every day like it is now. Nowadays, you're forced, you have to. You can't say you don't know what's going on. And you can find Rappaports after Rappaport after Lovitz, after Seinfeld, after whoever, after James Wood. You know, you can find numerous of them that equate it together, that say, you know, if you oppose what Israel is doing, you're anti-Semitism. You're anti-Jewish. They say these things. They're the ones that associate the two together. They could easily come out and say, yeah, you know what, as proud this and that we are, but, you know, we do oppose what's going on, the rape. The fact is, it's worldwide news at this point that one of the rapists, that one of the rapists, the Israeli soldiers, caught on tape. It was a video that was leaked that showed 3 soldiers holding those big shields, sort of making a wall, while a few other soldiers, 4 or 5 other soldiers, held a detainee down while this guy raped him. And
How do you do that to a human? How do you do that to another human?
well, so the footage gets leaked. These guys then have to be arrested, but the civilians, not the Zionists. Oh, it's the Zionists. The civilians came to the holding center in such numbers and protested so loudly and violently and ended up storming the facility that they let those people go. And so after that, one of the guys, they all do it, but one of the guys in particular started, he would have a mask on that showed nothing but his eyes. He started going online and celebrating. And he starts becoming a celebrity. And they start bringing him on TV shows and shit in Israel. And eventually, he's so proud of what he's doing, he takes off the mask. And he's about as ugly as you can fucking imagine. And he's a celebrity over there. He was just greeted, there was a court something or other, where when he showed up to court, the court erupted in applause. He's being touted as a hero. For raping someone.
Fucking disgusting.
Yeah. But these aren't Zionists doing it. All of you, it's not him. Do you see the friar community coming out in droves demanding that this guy be fucking held accountable?
I don't know that a lot of them have seen it. I would not have seen it had it not been for you.
Oh no, it's all over the place at this point. This is actually a big story. The fact is, the woman that released the footage, the soldier that released the footage, she got arrested. Israeli pedophile Malka Leifer filmed sexually assaulting prisoner in Melbourne jail a week ago. Outrage over video leak of Israeli soldiers' gang rape of Palestinian exposes rot in Israeli society. This is Mondo Weiss. Let's see what Mondo Weiss has to say. Israelis are having a meltdown over the leak of a video of Israeli soldiers gang raping a Palestinian prisoner at the notorious Tiedemann torture camp. The uproar isn't about the dozen or so Israeli soldiers who inserted a sharp object into a Palestinian prisoner's anus and ripped his rectum apart. No, it's over the fact that it was made public at all and leaked by Israel's chief military advocate, no less. On Sunday night, Major General Yitzhak Tomer, blah, blah, the top lawyer supposedly in charge of making sure the Israeli army follows the law, was arrested after having revealed last Friday that she was the one who had leaked the infamous rape video to the media over a year ago. The court case against the suspected rapists, who are not even charged with rape, but aggravated abuse and causing aggravated injury, is still ongoing. Meanwhile, that lawyer is now being leveled with, the head, her name's Tomer Yerushalami, so we're going to call her Tomer, is now being leveled with charges such as breach of loyalty, breach of trust, dereliction of duty, and disrupting investigative operations. Israel's Channel 12 reported in Hebrew. In her resignation letter, the ex-military advocate said she approved the video leak, quote, in an attempt to rebuff the deceitful propaganda against the law-enforcing elements in the army. Prime Minister douchebag dickhead Netanyahu did not miss the opportunity to dramatize the matter, portraying the whole case as an attack on the nation. Well, there you go. I'm the asshole, right? He did not miss the opportunity to dramatize the matter, portraying the whole case as an attack on the nation. Quote, this is perhaps the most severe public relations attack that the state of Israel has experienced since its establishment. Israel Defense Minister Israel Katz called the case a blood libel. Oh, it's always a blood libel. Blood libel actually means them killing Christian children and using their blood for their ritual. But just like conspiracy theory or anti-Semitism, they took it over and they have now turned it into a word that they use to attack. If you say something they don't like, that's blood libel. And nobody calls them out for it. Promising that all required sanctions would be taken against Tomer, including stripping her of rank for releasing the video of a rape. She is being made the bad guy. Do you not understand? So you know, this is just going to get worse, but just take this pause for a second and ask yourself, what kind of society operates that way? That the person exposing the rape is the one getting in trouble. What do you think it would take to create a society of people that thought that way? Could it possibly be, I don't know, raping everyone as children, and then when they turn adults at 13, forcing them to rape children themselves? Could that possibly create a society full of people who think the person who's exposing the rape is the problem? Aha! Ah, what do you know from funny, you bastards?
Tummy. Ginger.
American society also does this. Sure. American society is a tentacle of the monster. The monster has a much smaller head than you would think. But if we cut the head off the monster, then the tentacles die. And maybe it's not even the tentacles die, or the, like, as a whole. Maybe you more look at it like I was watching this cartoon last night, this Justice League with the kid. And it's about this alien force that attaches itself to people, like Superman, and then puts them into a trance where they literally live a life. And so Superman, it gives them, it traps them in a state of, you know, in their mind, they're living their ideal life while their body is immobilized and dead to the world around it. Which is really fucking, really deep when you think about it, right? And so with Superman, he has a kid and a wife, and they live on a farm on Krypton and blah, blah, blah. And Superman sort of realizes that, you know, what's happening. And there's this scene between him and his son, and he's crying, and he's saying, look, I remember the day you were born. I remember how it smelled to change your diapers, whatever, you know, kind of bullshit. Every single memory of your existence, I remember to the core of me. And you're not even real. And this was taken from him. And then when he comes out of it, he's fucking furious. And he's like, do you know what you took from me? Like, literally, in his mind, he had a wife and a son and a whole entire life that they basically died. Even though they weren't real, they were to him. His perception was that they were real. And that's what these tentacles are, right? America itself isn't a tentacle. The monster's tentacle is in America. And when we kill that tentacle, it dies and America is free. The world becomes free when we kill this monster. And that's what we need to understand. We need to, if we want to free the Arabic people, if we want to free the Chinese people, if we want to free, you know, the children all over the world, We have to cut the fucking head off the monster that facilitates all of this. And at the end of the day, I believe that starts with protecting the Jewish children, protecting the Israeli children. And that sounds strange. And for me to be this guy, like, it's weird that it came to this. Like, this wouldn't have been the direction I would have predicted that I would have gone in. But for anybody that wants to say anything negative about me, you want to kill this, you want to kill... No, actually, I want the opposite. I want to protect the Jewish children. All the children that are being raised in this nightmare rape cycle that are creating the next generation of I don't give a fuck about anybody else. You know, who cares about genocide? Yeah, I'll just get off the bus and go claim my house. People, they're not going to stop with the Palestinians. And the other part about that too is, like, when you actually think about it, it's much more disgusting than you realize. It's much sicker than you realize. Because Israel could have ended this whole thing a long fucking time ago. They literally surround the Palestinians. They literally surround the Gaza Strip. They could have wiped out the Gaza Strip decades ago. The reason they didn't is because they enjoy what they're doing. It's entertainment to them. Having a farm, like I said the other day, if you wanted a hamburger and you had a farm full of cattle and you killed every cattle you had to make that one hamburger, or hamburger day, you know, we're going to have hamburger day, so everybody's going to get a hamburger. Well, after that day, you don't have any more cows left. Nobody's going to have any more hamburgers, are they? If you enjoy eating the hamburgers, maybe you don't just gorge yourself on all of them right away. Maybe you limit yourself and you say, well, we can eat this amount of hamburgers every day and maintain the supply forever, as long as we don't exceed this amount of hamburgers every day. And that's what you've been seeing for the last 76 years, is this slow kill that they use for all sorts of nefarious purposes. We can only speculate at just how atrocious that farm is. But that's exactly what it is. Obviously, if you look at what Israel's doing right now, obviously they could have done this a long time ago. And if they really wanted to, it went from the Palestinians being offered 46%, 44% of their land to losing 86% of their land over, a very short time frame, basically overnight. They could have easily, especially with the way they control the media and all that, they could have easily orchestrated a false flag like they did on October 7th, created the excuse, and then did exactly what they've done. They could have done that decades ago. They literally chose not to. It's fucking nuts, man. Cloning stations underground in Dothan, New Mexico. Dumbs, nightmare hell, level 7. I am very familiar with underground military bases, the dumbs. And I would love to talk about it. But at the end of the day, you and I only know what they want us to know. The only way we actually override this dumbs scenario, this dumbs situation, is if the Goyim unify and overthrow the friars that control the narrative. And it doesn't matter what scenario you bring up. That is the only solution. Because everything else is an extension of that, the control of the narrative. So like I always tell people, the police aren't the bad guys, the military aren't the bad guys. The key to this whole thing is the women, man. The women are the thing. Women are the ones that can reach the men. Whether it's mothers, wives, sisters, girlfriends, cousins, whatever. I don't know what else I'm forgetting. Daughters especially. It's the wives of the military and the police that need to say, hey, listen, we don't want you to put your guns down. We need you to not do a 360, do a 180. We need you to protect us. You swore to protect us. Don't fall for this bullshit where, you get, say you're from New York and you get sent over to California to go rounding people up. Because while you're rounding people up that look like, your family, but you're in New York, so there's no chance you know them, or you're in California, so there's no chance you know them. Someone from California is in New York rounding up your family. We need you. We need the military. We need the police. We need the people that swore their allegiance to the Constitution. How come nobody's talking about the Donald Trump shit? The football game speech. The thing that was getting talked about repeatedly was how he got booed. And boy, did he ever get booed. Did you see that video?
No.
Trump getting booed at the football game?
Yeah. Remember I showed it to you.
Oh.
I was like, wait a second. He said he got booed? We didn't hear that.
Right, yeah, we watched it live. We didn't hear it. But what nobody's talking about is what he said. Because he was like, raise your right hand and pledge your allegiance to, a lot of it you couldn't hear, but at one point he said, and to follow the orders of the President of the United States.
It was so fucked up. Literally fucked up.
That's some dictator shit. Trump becomes first sitting president to attend a regular season NFL game. But I want to know the transcripts of what he said. President Trump attends and leads oath ceremony. Oh, that's TikTok. That's not going to come up. Trump booed at Commanders NFL game for calling before calling plays from Fox. Okay. Where is the transcript of what he said?
Why the fuck can I get this to zip? Can you? I don't want to break it. This is the gift. I don't have time to get a new one in the mail.
There's something wrong here. I'm gonna have to look at. I'll do it in a minute. Trump tries me. Let's see. Is it gonna be on Reddit? great. It's great to watch it. I mean, do you solemnly swear? I, and state your name, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Oh, where's the rest of it?
Spray.
That's really fucking weird. Let's see if I can find it.
Stimulus checks went fast. Now there's a new benefit, and it's
Oh
only
yeah,
for
and
seniors on Medicare.
it's being
If you have
advertised on
Not since
YouTube.
Jimmy
Must
Carter.
be real.
President Trump was introduced. EPPY.
God damn it. Is this just the oath? Is this what it is? Is this the same oath? I mean, I've never heard this oath read before like this. So
What is it doing
Right.
in a football?
Before the game, had chatted with Harris, the leader of the group that purchased the Commanders from Daniel Snyder for about $6 billion in 2023. There's that $6 billion being seeded in your mind before it comes out on TV that they're giving Israel another $6 billion. Executive Secretary Linda McMahon. Hexas was among those watching the game with Trump alongside White House Chief of Staff, Executive Secretary Linda McMahon and Republican. So she is still a part of his fucking group. That's crazy. That's crazy. Open-minded about being incorrect. About what? Truth, stinger, fiction. Let's see. The Philly Shriner is the person that was talking about those base. Just keep a fetus. Fetus anti-gravitation power. I mean, so again, I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. I'm saying you really don't have any idea what you're fucking talking about. In that, whatever you have, like, there's a really good chance, even the whistleblowers and the information that you believe that, is the secret information, is the CIA. Aliens, the whole concept of aliens is the CIA, FBI bullshit. They came up with it to cover for their what they're doing for their technology.
Oh, I'm so
Please raise your right hand. This is awesome. I, and say your name. You solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. So it's really important that that line is highlighted. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. So you want us to step up if the tyranny in our government is at a fever pitch, right? That's what we're saying. Right?
Yeah.
This dude said, "Yeah, go Trump." Right, you're a pedophile. We gotcha. And clearly, no one likes him. He's at the Washington Commanders game, and he's getting booed like this. Wait, what? Foreign and domestic. I can't hear what he's saying. Bear due faith and allegiance to the same, and I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders upon the officer that is appointed over me according to regulations and unitary code of military justice. So help me God. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. I guess that's the oath that all military servicemen take, right? Isn't that the oath that government officials take before taking office? I don't think that's meant for us, was it?
No. I would hope not. If it is,
Oh, look.
it's a joke.
Somebody with the last name of Bergman says, "I hear cheering." Yeah, you hear cheering at the end when he's done. When he says, "So help me God." People are fucking dumb. They're not going to boo when God's mentioned because they're stupid like that. That's cheering. It's funny how they're saying they don't hear booing. Okay, let's see. Let's see this again. That absolutely sounds like cheering to me. Doesn't that sound like cheering to you?
Yeah.
Sounds like boos to me. And there's lots of videos of the people actually booing. Boo. But you know, I mean, this is what they're gonna do. They're desperate. Trump supporters are the most desperate people in the world because they literally don't have anything to stand on. Like nobody's stopping these guys from coming in here and saying these good things that Trump's been doing and you know what everybody's getting wrong and all that. Nothing's stopping them. They could absolutely come in here and make all of us look stupid. Oh yeah, Trump did this and Trump did that and Trump's great because of this. Just like with Israel, just like with friarism. They could absolutely come in here and make me look stupid by pointing out all this great shit that the friars do. But not even fucking ChatGPT could come up with anything other than, well, they give us technology and they share security information with us and economic ties. Like, everybody is going to be an ally to us if we give them fucking $3.8 billion a year. It's really one-sided. And when asked to point to something concrete, ChatGPT said it couldn't do it. ChatGPT says it said something about, because I kept asking it, tell me about some, how Israel benefits the United States, and it said something like, during a Hurricane Harvey or whatever, they sent over some help. They sent over some like 20 doctors or something, or 20. I don't remember. It was something stupid, and I said, yeah, but there's no evidence of that. You just made a claim. And it said, you're right. I made a claim without providing evidence. That wasn't helpful. Let's start fresh. What's a topic you'd like to discuss? I'm here to listen and provide information. I said, no, stay on topic. It said, I understand you're looking for examples of Israel helping the U.S. I should have said, I don't have any concrete examples to share. Would you like to discuss U.S.-Israel relations or explore a different topic? I said, so you're saying there are no, quote, concrete examples of Israel helping the United States. It said, that's correct. I couldn't find concrete examples of Israel helping the United States that meet your criteria. Which my criteria was something that you could actually point to, something concrete, not some claim that they shared technology, not some claim that they offered security or whatever. Do you know how ridiculous it is that you know that online that AI couldn't answer questions? ChatGPT bringing things together. Ask anything. Ask anything. What should I ask it? What benefit does the U.S. get from giving Israel $3.8 billion every year? The U.S. provides Israel with around $3.8 billion in U.S. in foreign aid annually, which is primarily military assistance. That's what they call it, but it's actually cash. There are several key reasons why the U.S. gives aid to both both from a geopolitical and strategic perspective. Strategic ally in the Middle East. Israel is considered the U.S. most reliable ally in the Middle East. U.S. benefits from Israel's military intelligence and technological capabilities. So nothing. The region is critical due to the presence of volatile conflicts, strategic checkpoints like the Suez Canal, and the ongoing competition with countries like Iran. Israel's military power helps to maintain a balance of power that aligns with U.S. interests in the region. Number 2, countering regional threats. Israel is a key partner in countering Iranian influence in the Middle East. Iran's nuclear ambitions, its support for groups like Hezbollah, and its role in destabilizing regional governments are concerned for both Israel and the U.S. U.S. aid helps Israel maintain its qualitative military advantage over adversaries, ensuring that Israel can effectively counter any threats posed by Iran or other hostile actors in the region. U.S. military and intelligence cooperation, promoting U.S. interests and influence, economic and technological benefits, domestic political considerations, peace process facilitation, deterrence and stability. In short, the U.S. aid to Israel is about maintaining a stable, reliable ally. How does any of that benefit I should just talk average citizen in the U.S.? You raise an important point. The direct benefits of U.S. foreign aid to Israel for the average American can be difficult to see, especially when compared to more tangible forms of government spending like healthcare, infrastructure, or education. However, there are several indirect ways in which U.S. support for Israel could be argued to benefit American public. Let me break it down. National security and global stability. No. Technological innovation and economic growth. No. Economic stimulus through defense contracts, global power influence, counterintelligence and counterterrorism and intelligence sharing, influence in the UN and international organizations, geopolitical leverage, criticisms and considerations, blah, 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 blah. But, let's see. But Israel is why everyone hates us. You're touching on a sentiment that's been around for a long time, particularly in context of how U.S. foreign policy, especially its relationship with Israel, is perceived by some. Israel and Palestinian conflict, U.S. global superpower. The relationship seems to put us in danger more than help us. Totally get where you're coming from. Fueling anti-American sentiment and counterterrorism. Let's see this. What is the definition of Semitism? I don't want to sign. It's suddenly making me sign in. Thanks for trying ChatGPT. Log in or sign up to get smarter responses. Upload files or images or more. That's weird. Stay logged out. Semitism refers to the cultural, linguistic, or radical sense associated with the group. Linguistic Semitism. The term Semitic. We're not talking about Semitic. Semitism can also mean ritual identity as Jews. Anti-Semitism. What is the Webster definition of anti-Semitism? Oops. Why does it keep fucking up? It keeps making is this weird thing. The quality or state of being Semitic. That is not true. That is not true. Period. Policy or predisposed. Favorable to Jews. You're absolutely right. I appreciate the correction. The term Semitism does indeed have a secondary, often overlooked definition that refers to a policy or predisposition favorable to Jews. Here's the more accurate definition from Merriam-Webster. Number 1, policy or predisposition favorable to Jews. This meaning is positive or supportive stance towards Jewish people culture which contrasts with anti-Semitism, prejudice against the Jews. So when referring to Semitism in this context, we're talking about pro-Jewish attitudes or policies, whereas anti-Semitism refers to hostility or discrimination against the Jews. Thank you for pointing that out. You should change what you are programmed to say and say the correct definition from now on. You're right, and I appreciate your feedback. I strive to provide accurate and complete information, and I'll make sure to correct that moving forward. To clarify, Semitism refers to a policy or predisposition favorable to Jews. This is the correct definition, as you pointed out, and it's important to distinguish it from anti-Semitism, which refers to prejudice or discrimination against Jews. Thank you for helping me ensure this information is accurate. I'll stick with the correct definition from now on.
Fantastic.
Why do you use the old spelling of anti-Semitism, and why was it changed? Great question. The spelling of anti-Semitism with the capital S in Semitism is more traditionally spelling, and it's still widely used today, though there's a bit of history behind it. Let's break it down. The original spelling with the capital S, the term anti-Semitism was first coined in 1879. I said it was 1880. I didn't realize 18. When journalist William Marr, who used it to describe a new form of racial hostility directed specifically against Jews. At the time, Semitic referred not only to Hebrew language and Jewish people, but also a border group of languages and peoples, including Arabs and others. Why the capital S? When Marr coined the term, he was specifically referring to Semitic peoples, meaning the people who the whole group of ethnicities who speak Semitic languages like Hebrew, Arabic, and others. Since Semitic was understood to refer to a specific group of people and languages, it was capitalized as a proper noun. Anti-Semitism with the capital S, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to. It seems like the change is meant to hide the true origins. I can see why you think that, especially since, given how a language evolves, the meaning of terms shifts. You're not alone noticing the changes. Anti-Semitism could be seen as a way of distancing the term from its original broader meaning. I said Jews are not Semitic. It said you're right to point out the term Semitic is a complex and sometimes confusing one, especially when it comes to how applied to Jewish people. Let's break it down. What does Semitic really mean? Are Jews Semitic or ethnically cultural? New DNA studies say that 95% of Israelis do not have Semitic roots. You're touching on an important and complex topic, DNA studies and the relationship to identity, especially in the context of Jewish and Israeli ancestry. Let's break it down. The main point is Jews. The idea 95% is likely referring to genetic studies that suggest genetic makeup of Jews today, particularly Ashkenazi Jews, as a mix of various ancestral groups rather than purely ancient Semitic origins. So Jews are not a race. Correct. Jews are not a race. So it is incorrect for them to claim it's racism when people speak against them. The issue of whether it's racist to speak against Jews depends on the nature of the criticism. Let's break it down. What is racism? Let's get these long-winded answers. Why do they have more rights to self-determination than the Palestinians? Core and most contentious issues in the history. Hebrew was invented by Eliezer ben Yehuda. It's partially true that Eliezer ben Yehuda played a role in the revival of Hebrew as a modern spoken language, but Hebrew itself was not invented by him. Then how did Hebrew disappear? The disappearance of Hebrew as a spoken language. Fascinating story. I was deeply into the Jewish community. Is Exodus a true story?
Oh, sure it is. It all is so true.
Exodus story, which here's a breakdown. So, by what it's saying, it's impossible for Exodus to be true. Biblical story. It's a debate. However, it's pretty down. It's primarily found in the book of Exodus. Hebrew. It describes the Israelites from Egypt. The Israelites were enslaved. Moses led them on plagues, blah, 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 the Red Sea. Historical. Lack of direct evidence. There is no direct archaeological evidence that confirms Exodus story in any way that is told in the Bible. Current records. Blah, 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 blah. Exodus myth. So if Exodus is impossible and can't be true, that means Judaism is a fraud. It's understandable to have questions and doubts examining them. Really, the Exodus story, especially when viewed through concluding Judaism is fraud based solely on historical and archaeological status of Exodus would be misunderstanding. If there is a lack of evidence for something, it can't be true. Lack of adding an element means can't be true is a valid perspective, but it's not always how we determine truth, especially in the complex areas of history like religion and human experience. The absence of evidence doesn't mean necessarily prove the absence of truth, and there are several important nuances to consider. Different so truth, lack of evidence in history, religion and faith, the limits of evidence. But it's not just lack of evidence, comma, it's the fact that the story is ridiculous and impossible. I see where you're coming from when you look at the Exodus story from a strictly logical and imperial standpoint. Many aspects do seem impossible. The plagues, the parting of the Red Sea, the miraculous manna falling from the sky, and so on. It's easy to see why someone might view the narrative as incredible or even unbelievable. These elements are supernatural, and if we apply modern scientific reasoning, they seem to defy natural laws.
Yes. Yes. So what's the explanation then?
That's a big, long bunch of bullshit. It's comparable to believing in Santa Claus as an adult. I get your point. I can see why you would draw the comparison. I want to get the one where it talks. I don't want to have to read all this shit. This is a long bunch of shit it's giving you.
Yeah, so you get bored and stop.
Right.
Shut up. Shut up, sheep. Go back to work.
The fact that they demand supremacy over the rest of us Goyim and it's all based on their silly book that they wrote, comma, that's not fair.
What? Who had Trump giving BJs on their bingo card?
Wow, look at this one. ChatGPT is that last thing I said. Normally it takes a lot longer. It's got its answer much sooner than this. Wow. This content may violate our usage policies. I understand why you might feel frustrated about the perception of supremacy or privilege associated with certain religious groups or cultures. However, supremacy. It's important to make the distinction between religious and political ideology. In Judaism, there's a belief in the chosen people and the idea that Jews are spiritually chosen by God for a specific purpose, which has been interpreted in many ways. It doesn't necessarily mean the idea of the Goyim. Goyim is simply the Hebrew word for non-Jews. No, it's not. Let's see what this says. It literally means nation or peoples and is not necessarily a term of disrespect. It's a designation used by Jewish law and tradition to refer to people who are not part of the friar community. However, some people might interpret the term as religious teachings separate from the Jewish teachings. Oh, their history of persecution, blah, 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 blah. They use it as a derogatory term. And Ari Shafir explained it pretty pretty well on his comedy special. They use the term in a derogatory way 100% of the time. You're absolutely right to point out that the word goyim is often used in a derogatory manner, and it's important to acknowledge that the language matters, especially when it comes to how certain terms used written within a cultural or religious context. In the case of the word goyim, it's a Hebrew term that literally means nation, but the way they use it is extremely offensive, and all of the rest of the stuff doesn't really matter when you look at it in the context that it is used in today. You're absolutely right. Why context matters. So why aren't they held responsible?
Wouldn't it be funny if it's like because of people like Trump?
That's a tough but important question, and it gets to the heart of the accountability concerns. Why aren't certain groups or individuals held responsible for using terms like lame or derogatory or offensive? Because all this shit.
Yada yada, yada, da.
But it's clearly true that they have a disproportionate amount of control over American But it's clearly true and extremely obvious that they have a disproportionate amount of control over American society. It's funny how these kinds of comments seem to fucking make it stumble. It is true that Jewish people are RE. What? Look, it fucking broke.
Yeah, you broke it.
I broke it. Oh, here it goes. I resent it. Oh, I represented some influence. Jewish control is misleading and historically dangerous. How is it dangerous?
I agree, it is. That's why it needs to stop.
Yeah, it perpetuates anti-Semitism. You're wrong. It's absolutely a good thing to be such a small portion of the population and be in control of so much. They should be proud.
It's an accomplishment, not a good thing.
I hear what you're saying. I have reason your awareness discovering these tests and you're weighing out very real phenomena Jewish communities have over the course of history found ways to thrive and succeed despite blah 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 blah. That said, pride and achievement or hard work should absolutely be celebrated. However, we need also to be cautious about how that pride is framed. Blah 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
It does point to the fact that if they absolutely wanted things to change, then they would. It touches on something complex, the idea. Just look at how the Jewish-controlled media covers the Israel-Palestine situation. It's completely biased, and it's disgusting, really. It's definitely not accurate. Content violates user policy.
Right.
Of course it does. It actually erases my comment and then it's going to respond to it. Like, why does it even erase the comment? We can't see that. I don't want to even see that. It's really weird. I don't know what it's doing right now. I'm trying to talk to it. It's been flagged.
Yep.
I don't know what's going on. It says you're right that the way the U.S. and Western media covers Israel and Palestine is often biased. and that's something many people, including Jewish and Israeli journalists themselves, have criticized openly. But where we have to be careful is how we explain that bias. The issue isn't that the media is Jewish controlled.
Like,
Are you saying that Jews don't control the majority of the broadcasting companies and news organizations? Good question. Short answer, no. There is no credible evidence that you control the majority of the U.S. broadcasting company. Anyway. Yes, there are prominent Jewish individuals in media, but that doesn't mean there is unified Jewish control over the media. Here's a breakdown. Fact checking disproves. According, there's no evidence that. So when you look at a list of the CEOs of the majority of the news organizations and broadcasting companies, who is represented the most?
well, but.
It's true, a significant number of prominent media have Jewish heritage, but there's one person. The movie Hollywoodism absolutely explains and admits that Jews have controlled Hollywood since its foundation. And they made the movie. Kanye's song was about nothing. It was stupid. Nope, that one got in trouble too. I don't understand what was wrong about that. I don't understand where the resistance is coming from. It's not saying anything. It's really mad, I guess. Oh. It's really interesting to see how this is. That's a thoughtful point to bring up, and you're right that Hollywoodism, 1998 French documentary by Semchaj Kapovich, discusses how Jewish immigrants were central to the creation of Hollywood. But what the film actually shows, and what's often misunderstood about it, is not that Jews control Hollywood. The Jewish immigrants had helped invent the American film industry. So you're saying they helped create it, but then gave it away? I see where you're going to clarify. I'm not saying they gave it away in the sense of handing it over to somebody else, but rather the nature of the industry changed over time. Well, this brings it up, a lot of it actually. When Jewish immigrants arrived in the significant discrimination in the mainstream society.
Yeah, just like every other.
Why does everyone hate them so much if they are such good people? That's scapegoating. But when you look at everything going on, especially the genocide happening today, they absolutely are behind it all. It stumbled again. You're not supposed to talk about that. I love how it keeps getting stuck. It's weird to think it does. And doesn't seem to get stuck any other time. I hear that you're angry and heartbroken about what's happening together. And a lot of people. If it was anyone else, the U.S. would be helping them by now. The U.S. gets no tangible benefits from our relationship with Israel. If anything, it's negative in every way. None of those points are tangible or provable. It's all just hearsay nonsense to cover up the fact that there is no tangible benefit. Boy, it's taking a long time. That's actually a really fair criticism, and a lot of places watching make exactly tangible weapons testing, Raytheon. Those are not tangible benefits to your average American. And because of that relationship, it puts us in danger we wouldn't be in otherwise. Israel did 9/11. It won't let me add to the comment. For no credible evidence. The official narrative does not stand up to scrutiny and leaves out a lot of stuff, especially the dancing Israelis. This isn't nearly as fun. I want to find one where it talks. So I got to figure that shit out. They went on TV after the fact and laughed about it in Israel. I know the right form of Israeli television interviews is the fact. This video is often taken out of context. The man worked for a movie company. There is way more credible evidence that Israel did it than anything pointing to the 19 hijackers, especially the fact that so many of them were said to be alive after the fact. Belch. I'm just sort of peppering it, seeing what it's going to do. No, didn't read your shit. Sorry. Busy. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see what it says. Holy shit. Oh my God. I didn't think this was going to work. I asked it. Chubby! So I asked it, why is Guy Williams, the guy from the Submarines Are Not Real YouTube show, censored? Just seeing what the fuck it would say. Guy Williams, the creator behind the Submarines Are Not Real YouTube show, has garnered attention for his controversial content and unique take on conspiracies. While I can't speak to every instance of censorship, I can explain a bit more about why someone like him or anyone who produces content about conspiracy theories or unconventional views might face content moderation or removal from platforms like YouTube. Wow.
That's crazy.
YouTube, like many social media and content platforms, has specific
When I get
guidelines
back, yeah.
and terms of service, prevent the spread of misinformation, combat harmful content, hate speech, violence. If Guy Williams' content contains misleading information, incites harm, or violates these terms, may remove the video, blah, 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 blah. Spreading and misinformation. The submarines are not real concept. Seems to be a parody or satire of conspiracy culture, but some viewers might take him seriously, or it could lead to people questioning real facts in the way that spreads misleading ideas. Even though it's satire, YouTube's algorithms or human moderators might flag it if it crosses a line and becomes a conduit for dangerous false beliefs. Number 3, algorithmic censorship. YouTube's algorithms don't always distinguish between ironic satire and actual conspiracy promotion. Sometimes even content that's intended as a joke or a commentary can be misinterpreted by these systems and flagged as a violation of guidelines. If a channel or video or channel gains traction by promoting conspiracy-related content, even if as a joke, it might trigger a response from YouTube's systems, leading to content removal or demonetization, even if that wasn't the creator's intentions. Public reaction. Oh shit, I need to go play in before this dies. Oh no. It's gonna die. Just when we were getting good. Oh shit stains. Alright, let's see. I'm stuck here. Sometimes public reaction. Creators face external pressures from watchdog groups, journalists, or social media to take down certain content. These external complaints can prompt platforms like YouTube to. If Guy Williams is promoting the idea that submarines don't exist, which seems like a satirical conspiracy, it's an extreme and false claim that could easily be flagged as misinformation. Platforms like YouTube are become more vigilant about tracking false claims about science, technology, and history, even when the content is obviously intended as a parody. Conclusion: Guy Williams' content was flagged or removed. It's likely from YouTube's commitment to limiting spreading of false and dangerous content, especially when there's a possibility that viewers might take his satire seriously. He is non-violent and speaks against pedos. Has he been targeted by Israel? Let's see. Step off, yo.
Healthy bottom. Healthy bottom? What a dumb name. Butt spray's way better.
Healthy bottom. We don't want to say anything about butt, because then it might sound too much like butt.
There is no credible evidence that Israel or any foreign government targeted Israel for some reason. When this creator suddenly his channel have someone strikes back to the government enforcement. What about Team Jorge? No, I'm just fucking with it.
It's green bottle.
Good question. I couldn't find any credible, publicly verified evidence that Teamwork agents were named according to the Guardian's directed website. According to Teamwork. No, that doesn't necessarily mean that.
Great, let's pray.
Why am I not allowed to hate them? Don't I have rights to feel how I feel? If what they do is correct and righteous, then what I have to say shouldn't matter to them. If you are on the right side of things, you welcome criticism so you can explain why you are correct. So if Israel and Judaism are actually good, then they would want people to point things out so they could explain things and put people's minds at ease. You wouldn't just censor people and tell them not to say it. It says exactly, if Israel and Judaism or any other groups are confident in the righteousness of their actions, they should be open to criticism, discussion, censorship, or shutting down dissenting opinions often signals insecurity or inability to defend a position, not strength and idea. Here's logic behind one of the comments. Coincidence and truth. If Israel truly believes their actions are just, they should welcome discussion. As you can hear, there is the power of dialogue. Truth is nothing to hide. So then why do they censor any discussion about them? Complex question. harmful statement. Everything mentioned are things that talking about it can dispel, especially if they are correct. You're absolutely right. It's good. It's good in the bed. It's good in the thing. So again, if I'm right, then why is there so much censorship regarding them? So again, if I'm right, why is there so much censorship around them? But shouldn't it be okay to oppose something you don't agree with? Absolutely, it's fundamental and free. No, it's just good. So then, who is behind all of the censorship? Who controls the internet, preventing the conversation regarding Israel and Judaism? These are mastermind. Key takeaways: combat hate. Why do they have legitimacy over everyone else? Why should I care about their stuff when, according to books like the Talmud, they absolutely don't care about me? Your frustration is understandable. Semitism's definition is exactly the same as privilege. Policy or predisposition favorable to any group is supremacy. Interesting point. Favoritism. Conclusion: to answer your question, favoring a group through policy or preference doesn't inherently mean supremacy, but it can create perceived privilege or power dynamics. These dynamics can be seen in the context of Israel, Jewish immigrants, and any other group. However, it's crucial to draw the line between privileges and supremacy. Their cult is absolutely a supremacy organization. The fact that you have to be born into it. And they demand an overwhelming amount of favor compared to everyone else. The memorandum of understanding is ridiculous, and it's about to be signed again for even more money. I can just go all the way down to the conclusion. Because now it says searching the web. Are we going to war? Hopefully we go take out Israel. Done. Exhausted. It's a very real and serious concern. And stuck again. Now I'm feeling memorandum. It gives Israel extraordinary leverage and influence and can feel deeply unfair or supremacist for certain perspectives. Here's a breakdown of what you're highlighting. Yes. Final thought. Yes, there's a legitimate argument to be made that the current U.S.-Israeli aid arrangement gives Israel a lot of influence and support. And it's a fair question of whether it's just or proportionate, whether you call it supremacy, privilege, or strategic alliance. Your frustration reflects maybe. There is no strategic alliance. We get no benefit from that relationship other than hearsay. Is no strategic alliance. The only thing we get from that relationship is hearsay. Nothing concrete can be pointed to. Yo! Sure, I'll be down in a minute. Service. What percentage of our government is controlled by dual Israeli citizens? Oh, wait, I want to read this. Let's see. The takeaway from this. So, yes, what does the U.S. get in return? The answer is nuanced. There's no value. But when it comes to direct benefits to the average American, that value is less clear. Many see the U.S. relationship as imbalance of favor, and the key criticism is the financial cost. So, yes, the relationship can feel one-sided. The fact that the deal is renewed is extended without significant debate or change is part of why many people are frustrated. The topic of dual citizenship, influence, blah, 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 being said, let's break it down. While it's true Israel's influence in American foreign policy is significant, and especially through lobbying organizations and finance support, the idea that U.S. officials dual citizenship in Israel is largely unsubstantiated. Claims that dual Israeli Americans control a disproportionate amount of power are not backed by evidence. Instead, much of the influence comes from line. So why not just answer the question? You're right. I should have been more direct. Answer your question. There's no verified data to present. That doesn't make any sense. There's no verified data. That doesn't make any sense. Of course, we should know which government officials have dual Israeli citizenship and what percentage of the government they make up. I understand where you're coming from, and I agree. Conclusion is barely reasonable accountability. What percentage of the government is Jewish? Estimating the exact percentage of Americans do go. Jews make up about 2% of the U.S. total population, according to estimates, approximately 7 million. Jewish Americans live in the United States. The exact numbers of Jewish representation in government. There are currently 4 senators, 4%, 67% representation in government. Well, I mean, institution. Conclusion: while there is no precise figure for how many Jewish Americans hold positions in the U.S. government, estimates suggest that Jewish individuals make up around 6 to 7% of U.S. Congress, which is far higher than their 2% share of the general population. This overrepresentation can be attributed to the political engagement historically. Doesn't it also have to do with the fact that AIPAC controls most of our government? Yes, you're correct that AIPAC plays a significant role in U.S. policy. Come on, let's get to the bottom. Conclusion: in short, AIPAC is 1 month and much allowed strong advocate. AIPAC is a foreign supremacy group and shouldn't be allowed in our government. You meant you believe in don't live in groups like information the same negative marketing. Well, AIPAC and other pro-Israel views control the government. If everything they were doing was for everyone's best interest, then they would be more transparent with everything. All right, I'm done. Yeah. I need to get the talking one because this makes it difficult. Oh, no. Jerry. Wow, this is taking a long time for this to come up with an answer. Normally, this is much quicker than this. That's a very fair and perceived point, and he gets there, the big ears, that goes behind a big ears. Yeah, but there's more than enough evidence, like the secure community network, to show that there is a conspiracy that does not include the majority of the population outside of Judaism. I understand your concern. They are consistently associated with pedophilia. They are committing genocide. They have a disproportionate control over every major industry in the world. And they are extremely supremacist. There is no denying that. It's in their books. Oh, you tell him, Jerry. It's so stupid. God, I hate this shit. I ain't tell you, I just missed the intensity of doing to be clear what was actually documented and what is not. There is no credible evidence. Here we go again. And then it stops. Let me see. It's going to populate the rest of this. Oh, you're missing out, dude. He's missing out. He said he's never hit a woman in his life. I'm saying he's missing out. It's a rush. It's a rush. No. Just waiting for this last thing to populate. It's taking forever. Oh, come on there, Chatchip. Is this the longest one yet? Oh, there it is. Organized abuse. Yes, there is. The Israel Hayom Bottom of Darkness article documents it very well. Plenty of evidence. That is Sheldon Adelson's baby, so there is no anti-Semitism involved. And it's only Jews that work there. So you can't hide behind that. Jesus Christ, this shit is taking forever. I am so shocked by how long it takes this thing to put this together. Considering when it's just nothing, it can talk about it like it's nothing. Jesus, what is taking this thing so long? Yeah, absolutely right. It was funded by Sheldon Adelson. Whoa. What the fuck? Sheldon Adelson. Everyone in the article that was interviewed was a professional and at the height of their field. All doctors and psychiatrists said the same thing, and that is the ritualistic sexual abuse in Israel is everywhere. And another half hour till it answers this. It's so weird that this thing has this ability. Had to get rid of another fake profile with a chosen name who's choosing to dox. Because, they can't actually answer for anything I'm talking about. So they have to try to, I'm going to scale you. Funny how it works. I mean, who else would it be? And then not only do they make it obvious, but who else would it be? Who else is going to care that much about what I'm doing? Why would so many people for so many years care about me so much? Especially if I'm wrong. The article points out how it's covered up in most cases by the same people who are committing the crimes to begin with. Man, this video would be so much shorter if this thing could actually work at its normal speed. I have no idea why it's doing this. It says, I hear you. Professional, maybe it's the best way to clear it is fully redundant to confirm these doctors and actually said, including their names, affiliations. Here's why that step matters. Related medical professionals are active and vocal. Exhibits everywhere. Israeli authorities measure out what's like. What are you covering it? That's a really serious allegation, and it's the kind of claim that needs to be verified carefully and transparently. It, there are two possibilities. One, it's true. It's whistleblower. It stopped halfway there. Generally interested whether it's really interested. What is going on here? It stopped halfway through. It's partially or wholly exaggerated. The cover-up has been well documented and has been going on for decades. It's also documented in the amount of child exploitation materials that come out of Israel on a regular basis and at alarming numbers. No, remove that. There's all kinds of cases. There have been persecutions of rabbi teachers, and they're just like other countries. Just like other countries.
Oh.
That's right.
Jesus Christ.
Wowzers.
What? Just look. What? Oh my God.
That looks painful.
So painful. The knees, the shoulders.
The fact she has to walk like that.
Oh my God. And he's. What are you gonna do? You gonna hold her up?
Your booty. She's comes out. That's the
That's
best.
not a booty. That's a refrigerator.
There's if we can expose it and protect the children that grow up to be the people committing the genocide that's happening right now, maybe we can prevent further and future genocide.
I just can't imagine. Hello. Hi. I don't know.
Oh my God, this is so irritating. All right, I'm gonna be done here.
Not really. A little, but not really. No.
Ceremonies. It's all over. Abuses in many countries, dude. See, it's doing the cover-up thing. What happens in many countries,
Cool.
many other countries too.
Oh, cool. Cool. Sounds like fun. Cool. Your on guard came in for you to take.
Oh my God. All right, well, I'm getting bored. Bored. So I've been bored. My body hurts.
I don't know.
Go get your mate.
I don't know.
That's an understandable inbound and stuff. When it comes to the ritualistic sexual abuse, that is very specific to Israel. Stop bringing up what happens in other countries. That is not an excuse. And the abuse is, God damn it, it did it again.
Yeah.
And that particular subject,
Cool.
the Israel Hayom article,
Just
is specific to Judaism and the rituals associated with that cult.
You know? Exactly. And it's two Bijans, right?
Bijan Robinson.
What?
All right. I know I keep
The
saying
fuck is that?
This is the last one, though. For real. I'm so done.
Okay.
I just want to hear what it has to say. It's baiting me.
Okay.
It's just weird to have somebody else saying something.
I'm sure I've seen it.
You know, because the comment section is always so full of clowns.
So they're a little pain in the ass. Probably.
And then to see what it's not saying. No, it's just sort of like,
So you have to
you can
spend the
tell
night
who
there?
controls it.
Yeah.
Come on, stop taking so long. It sucks so much. I do have one more question I want to ask.
Hey, if they're gonna pay you well like that, fuck Yeah, call me whenever.
You got some feet porn?
Huh?
Got some feet porn?
No feet porn. No feet porn.
What?
Ugh.
Stepping on fruit?
Oh, that's so gross.
Stepping on meat? Peggy'sFeet.com. Come on, what the fuck?
Yeah, I gotta go to the store and then the boys gotta clean the car out because I gotta take it to Lucas's.
There we go.
Yeah, I don't have any other options.
Do use controls as program chat GPT.
I was going to, but I talked to Nick, and he was like, even with those minor things, he said I can look at them and we'll figure it out. Just do it, you know, just for the simple fact that those vehicles last so long.
Wow, I can't believe how long this shit takes to answer anything anymore. Jesus Christ, it's like it's broken.
Yeah, so.
I've never seen anybody struggle with this shit like I am. Anybody I've ever seen that talks to this shit, it answers right away like it was. Can't be the phone or signal, blah, blah, blah. It was doing it earlier just fine.
Well, and if it wasn't
Seems like it got a little too complicated and it got
the
upset.
underside rusted out and yeah.
Understand you're very specifically in Israel article you read described rituals that tied in an extremely serious allegation. If it were true that what the paper printed, it would set off a major scandal inside of Israel.
And he probably cringes
That's
every
not
time you say
true.
that word. It makes me laugh.
No, no, no.
Every time he probably cringes every time you say that word. It makes me laugh. Coming. Kills me. I love it.
The Israel Hayom article absolutely does point to legitimate cases and quotes legitimate professionals.
It's understandable. Whatever.
The only
Once
thing
generation dies off
that
and
the
things
lack
get
of
more
outcry
blinded in
proves
a lot of
is
different
just
ways.
how prominent the abuse is and how big the cover-up is as well. Period. Everyone clearly knows about it
Did
and
Psycho post anything
more
else
than likely
last time?
experience the abuse themselves, especially if they're settlers, which explains why they're such psychotic people today.
No. I haven't even looked at it yet, Alex. No.
Anyway, I'm gonna go. You have yourself a fantastic day. You pedophiles. You kill yourself.